This is just a sample of the audiobook. To get the complete audiobook, access the link posted in the first comment.
Today, just as in 1967, the juxtaposition of Kennedy with the destitution in Mississippi makes for a compelling story. It is not, however, the whole story. Kennedy's visit to the Delta is often recounted in history books and biographies of Kennedy as a pivotal moment in his growth as a leader. For too long, however, the poor people, the hungry men, women, and children he encountered, have been faceless, and often nameless, little more than stock characters in a poverty backdrop for Kennedy, the main hero in a morality play. Kennedy, however, certainly never represented himself as such. Today we are used to celebrities who travel to blighted places and use their fame to draw attention to the suffering of the people they encounter. Kennedy's trip was no poverty tour, as we know it in contemporary terms. Instead, it was more akin to a fact-finding mission. He and the other senators with him wanted to know just how well war-on-poverty programs were working. In fact, Daniel Shore, the CBS newsman who covered Kennedy's Mississippi trip, likened the senator to an inspector general in his report that evening, a far cry from a celebrity using his fame for attention to an issue. After he left the state, Mississippi remained on Kennedy's mind. He painted a grim picture of what he had seen for his children and urged them to action. Soon after, he told the wife of an aide in New York, "You don't know what I saw. I have done nothing with my life. Everything I have done was a waste. Everything I have done was worthless." Kennedy maintained a fierce focus on the people he met in Mississippi, propelled by the urgency of their needs. The depth of those needs and the difficulties he met as he sought aid ultimately helped tilt him toward a 1968 run for president. Kennedy did indeed make a valiant effort to get help to the hungry families in the Delta, and it is important to examine his reaction and efforts. However, the experiences of these children and their parents are just as valid as his are, and, I would argue, just as heroic. To this end, this work provides a wider focus on Kennedy's trip, going beyond its impact on him, which was significant, to include the stories and photographs of 4 children and their families who met Kennedy in 1967, following them through the decades after his visit. By sharing their stories along with his, I hope to bring the people he met into the light of history and bear witness to both their suffering and their perseverance. In 1967, Kennedy pushed into places others would not go to see poverty for himself. What he found motivated him to work for change in ways that still reverberate today, both in current food aid policy and in the lives of those he encountered. This book tells the story of his visit, but it also offers much more. For when Robert Kennedy traveled deep into the Mississippi Delta, he took an essential step toward his and the nation's destiny.